Okay, let's unpack a story we got this week. It is a really chilling first-person account of a contract job, a job that was just called The Dig.
And it was taken out of just, pure desperation. High risk, deep underground, and incredibly secretive.
Exactly. This isn't just a scary story. It's a look at operational control, how you can take a human being and make them disposable.
That's our mission today. We're breaking down the structure. How do you create that extreme secrecy? You look at the rules, the isolation, the sensory deprivation, and what happens when reality itself starts to break down.
It all started with money. The narrator was facing eviction, needed triple wages, fast. That's how they got him.
The lure.
Yeah, the lure, an unofficial email, no company name, just coordinates, a time, and a note to bring ID and steel-toe boots. The promise was simple. Keep your head down, get triple pay.
And right there, the destabilization begins. Even before he sees the site. This anti-protocol is fascinating. A 5-hour drive to an unmarked van.
Blacked out windows.
Right. And then, boom. Phone's gone, sealed in a lead-lined pouch. Total disconnection.
And that van just takes him to an unmarked charter jet. They fly him across time zones, different altitudes. He said it felt like being a stranger at a funeral, just completely disoriented.
Psychological pre-processing. It's a doctrine of identity erasure. You arrive on site with no memory of the journey, no clue where you are, and you're already cut off from everything you know. You're a blank slate.
And the slate they put him on was basically a prison. They land, it's dark, the air is thin, way up past the tree line. The site itself looked like it was built from, prefab concrete and steel.
Something that was never meant to be on a map.
Never. And the processing was immediate. They go to the center, and it's strip. Clothes, wallet, ID, everything. His ID gets laminated and stuck on a wall, facing out.
A classic dehumanization tactic. You're not a person anymore, you're a function. You get a jumpsuit, a blank badge. If something happens, you're easy to deny, easy to dispose of.
The job itself was also a lie. The whole operation ran on this weird 28-day lunar cycle, not a calendar. Officially, they were just there to clear debris, stabilize columns, check gas levels.
It's a total deception.
He realized it quick. The real digging was being done by remote systems way deeper down.
And that's the operational lie right there.
Yeah.
The workers are just set dressing. They see these sealed containers coming up, getting loaded onto trucks by crews in full radiation gear.
Well, they're being told they don't need any protective gear at all.
Exactly. So why the discrepancy? The workers are there to maintain the illusion of a normal mine, maybe for satellites, I don't know, but the real work, the dangerous work, is hidden.
Which brings us to the absolute centerpiece of the whole operation, the one rule.
No one goes below level 7.
It wasn't a guideline, it was an existential threat. You don't go down there for a lost tool, you don't go down if someone screams for help, nothing.
This is the boundary. It's not protecting equipment. It's protecting the entire operation's integrity. It separates the acceptable lie, the debris clearing, from whatever the absolute terrifying truth is on level 7.
But the thing is, they didn't even have to break the rule for the place to start breaking them. As they went deeper, the environment itself got hostile.
Oh, yeah. Below level 3, the reinforcement beams were old, looked almost pressure cooked. The dust, it never settled.
And the air tasted, he said, like blood and chalk. They had to wear respirators constantly.
It's the environment becoming a weapon. By level 5, the physics of the place change. The stone just swallows sound. Your footsteps don't echo right.
That's terrifying.
It is. When you can't trust what you hear, paranoia just skyrockets.
Yeah.
Then level 6, the air gets warmer, tight, the lights start to flicker.
The flickering is one thing, but the sound. He said there was a noise coming from beneath their feet. And it wasn't mechanical. It was slower, heavier, something more like a breath or a pulse.
A manufactured anomaly.
And they'd catch glimpses of, reflective cat eyes in the shadows, like the mine itself was watching them.
Whether it was real or in their heads, the effect is the same. It makes the workers question their sanity. The narrator tried to rationalize it, said the others were just affected by the artificial light. But then he'd hold his own breath walking past the level 7 door. Swore he heard whispers.
That door, they had a ritual, didn't they? Checking the seal on that yellow and black restricted door every single day.
Welded in 3 places.
Yeah.
It's pure operational theater. You force them to physically confirm the barrier, reminding them every single day that their fat paycheck depends on that seal holding. It embeds the rule as a physical threat.
And all that tension,
Yeah.
it finally broke someone, a guy named Sorensen.
Ah, yes, Sorensen.
He started saying his dreams were showing him tunnels. Tunnels he recognized, like he'd
Oh.
been there before.
His unraveling follows a predictable pattern for that kind of environment. standing too close to the walls, just listening. He started skipping mess, hoarding food in his bunk.
Staring at rest patterns on the walls, thinking they were familiar.
But the pocket log is the key. He was sketching these spiral shapes, and it's something he just wrote down as some teeth. Then there's a date, circled 3 times, and written underneath, underlined so hard it tore the paper, "Do not follow."
He wasn't just hallucinating, he was being influenced, remembered something.
It's ancient.
And on day 19, he snapped. He heard voices on the intercom from level 7. Voices that shouldn't have been there. He overrode the service lift and just went down, took a breathing tank, a light, and a crowbar.
He broke the one rule, and the system responded instantly.
The lights on the lower level started flickering in a pattern, a slow, timed pulse, 4 seconds on, 4 seconds off.
The system knew. It was monitoring. And then came the cover-up. Sorensen's name vanished from the manifest.
His locker was empty, his plate, his cup from the mess hall, gone. He said it was like he'd never been there at all.
Erased. Perfectly erased. And then they locked access below level 5 for 2 days. The official reason was safety concerns.
But the contamination was already spreading. A few days later, a guy named Wyatt slips on a ladder and cracks his ribs. The narrator swears the ladder was bone dry, spotless.
The environment itself becomes an active participant. Then another guy, Briggs, has a tonic seizure in the mess hall, wakes up screaming, asking where the lights went.
But the lights are on. They were all on.
And through all this, you have this soft rattling in the vents that maintenance just denies. Classic gaslighting. Then the radios start failing, voices looping back, distorted.
People started asking to leave, even if it meant losing all that money.
And they were denied.
Yeah.
Until one worker just disappears overnight. The system was falling apart, but the control mechanism held.
Right up until day 26. Mid-shift, these tremors hit, took out the primary lift and the main emergency ladder on level 5. They were trapped.
And this is where it gets really suspicious. The emergency protocol comes over the radio. Calm voice. Tells them to use a service shaft near an old pump station to get out.
A route that just so happened to force them to pass right by the entrance to level 7.
Given everything we know about that rule, the sheer terror associated with level 7, for that to be the official evacuation route, it feels orchestrated. It feels like they were being funneled.
They had no other choice. They get to level 7 and the whole world changes instantly. The temperature skyrockets. It's hot, humid, smells like rot.
He described it as breathing soup.
The pressure in their ears spikes and the lights behind them start going out, one by one, and they hear it. Voices in the walls murmuring.
And that's when they see it. The secret of level 7. It's not rock. The walls are biological.
Living tissue. Dense, wet, glistening. He said they were flexing like the muscles in a throat when it swallows.
My God.
And there, curled up near the wall, was Sorensen, what was left of him, fused into the tissue. His skin was stretched thin and his veins were branching out from his body into the floor like roots. The chamber was absorbing him.
Feeding on him. And in the middle of this chamber, a massive still object, carved with ridges like the roof of a mouth.
And then the floor drops, just half an inch, and the walls start to breathe. Slower, heavier. The tunnel behind them started to close in.
It was a trap. The whole mine was a feeding structure.
He ran, scrambled up some old vertical shaft, and just climbed. The next thing he knows, he wakes up 5 days later. He's in the infirmary, back on level 1.
And this is the final, chilling confirmation of the deception.
The medic tells him, there weren't no orders given over the radio. That channel's been dead for days.
The command that sent them to level 7 was a ghost signal, a targeted timed deception sent over a dead channel specifically for them. The system broke its own sacred rule to feed the chamber.
They processed him out while he was still unconscious, gave him double the hazard pay, and sent him home. The event was erased, but the job wasn't done with him.
No, the operation still has a claim on him. The dreams, breathing walls, the taste of metal.
But it's more than dreams, the compulsion. He wakes up with dirt under his fingernails, his hands bloodied, calluses on his palms. He's been digging holes in his backyard, in alleys, in drainage ditches, with no memory of doing it.
The trauma has physically imprinted the act of digging onto him.
And here is the final twist, the thing that just breaks your brain. He calls the original contract guy, the one who sent the email.
Yep.
And the guy tells him his name was never passed on for a mining job. The job he was supposed to get was a warehouse gig in Nevada.
So the entire contract was a phantom, a complete fabrication designed from the ground up to lure people to that site.
So what does this all mean for you listening to this? You have a perfect operational framework, a system that can fake a high-paying contract, isolate a person, break them down psychologically, and then feed them to something.
The entity that built this, the one that can schedule a private charter jet to an unlisted location and use sophisticated radio deception. It wasn't a mining company.
Which leaves you with this final thought. He got paid. Double hazard pay for a job that never existed. So an organization with the power to counterfeit an entire triple pay contract, a private flight, on-site security, that's a far greater, more terrifying threat than the biological horror it's feeding.
What kind of power can manipulate human desperation on that kind of vast, untraceable scale? And is that compulsion to dig, is that now a permanent beacon just waiting for the entity to call him back for its next meal?